Jason, joining me today is Jason McLaughlin out of Arvada, Colorado. And it's a privilege for me. I had a great conversation with Jason. Jason, out of an audience of more than 250,000 agents nationally, has been selected to represent Broker Agent Advisor as this month's Broker Agent of the Month for the state of Colorado. And Jason, it's a privilege to be here with you and to, I guess, celebrate you for the contributions you've made to this industry. Congratulations on the recognition, and thank you so much for joining me.
Ryan, yeah, thanks so much. I got to be honest, this was a kind of a crazy surprise for me, and I'm happy to sit here and chat with you for just a little bit. Yeah, and see where this thing goes. This is very, very cool.
Look, Broker Agent of the Month is all about trying to find men and women in this business that, as a result of their being in the business is better off in some way. And you're an easy pick, my friend. And cool. I'm proud, like I said, to be producing some content with you being the focus because you deserve it. And my thought was, man, let's spend a couple minutes. Let's just explore a couple questions together so people get a sense for who you are and maybe why you were selected. And I want to start with the topic of real estate.
Sure.
You've got an interesting background. You've done a bunch of different stuff. You could do a lot of different things. Why real estate? How'd you get in this business?
Yeah, so I mean, essentially what it was is I was a paramedic in emergency medical services for about 20 years. And towards the end of my career, I was going back and forth to Alaska. Spent about 5 years in Alaska doing remote medicine. And it came to a point kind of where the family was like, at what point do you come home and stop adventuring off all the time? And so it was a really hard decision. But one of the cool things is that I was coaching youth football. And one of the coaches on the team with me, he owned his own brokerage. And we got to chatting one day and he said, why don't you come do real estate with me? And I thought about it and I always thought, I loved looking at homes when I was younger. I always enjoyed real estate. I always thought I might be good at it. But at the end of the day, we chatted for a bit of time and I decided to take on real estate. So I'm in about my 4th year of doing it. I'm still a certified paramedic, but at this point I haven't been doing much. So, but I stay involved.
Yeah, well, it turns out you are pretty good at real estate, and so
thanks.
It's a pretty good decision. A lot of people get in this business, and in 4 years is a really cool point. You've got a bunch of transactions under your belt. You've got experience. You know what the business is. Your clients talk about how great you are, and so we can see a path forward from there. But a lot of people get in this business thinking it's one thing, and they realize it's different. And I thought, man, 4 years in, tell me what you find most rewarding about this business and being in this career.
So, what's interesting is I kind of translate it back to my EMS days of being able to help people in their time of need, right? Anybody can say they can buy or sell real estate. And what I've come to the conclusion is that's very true for a very select number of people. The majority of people actually need a fair bit of help from understanding how it works and getting them into the right position and things like that. And so I wanted to transition my way of taking care of people from my EMS days into my real estate days. And theoretically, and essentially, that's kind of what I did is I just took it from a different level. Instead of it being an emergency, it's no longer an emergency, but it's still the ability to help people. And I make my real estate career about them and not about me, which is the same thing I did in EMS. And so I think for myself, it translated really well.
Well, it may not feel like an emergency in the same way that you've experienced, but few people get to experience emergencies like you have, my friend.
Yeah, sure.
Real estate transactions are emotionally charged environment, right? And you've been in some very emotionally charged situations and discovered some things about yourself, about your capacity to manage and navigate those and get to ideal outcomes in an ideal way. And so I suspect the stress that comes along with real estate, you're like, this isn't stress, my friend.
Yeah.
We got this.
No,
we got you.
Yeah, I mean, anytime there's a stressful point, I always either tell the client or the agent on the other side, this is not an emergency. We'll work through it. Nobody's dying, right? And that's truly how I believe, right? That's truly who I am as a person. And it's easy to de-escalate and bring people back down into kind of an easy level to help them achieve what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I did some snooping and I found some of your reviews online and I wanted to share one because I think it's good to listen to how a client would describe the experience they've had with you as part of a video, right? As part of some content that's celebrating you. And so this particular one said, there's not enough praise I can give for the job that Jason has done. He's extremely personable and has incredible sense for negotiation. He helped us with our purchase more than we thought possible. Buyers and sellers, if you're looking for a realtor who will be your personal advocate, even when you're not looking, Jason's the man for you. I could not possibly make a higher recommendation for Jason McLaughlin.
I love that.
Man, that's pretty high praise.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's very cool.
And you've got a bunch of those. And I think we all aspire to want people to feel that way about us as professionals in this business. The stats will tell you that it just doesn't happen. We don't deliver in that way consistently across the industry. And this is a large part about why you're being selected, because your clients adore you because you do put them first and you make them feel important.
It's very cool. Thank you for recognizing that and your company. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So Arvada, Colorado, you could do this job anywhere. You've practically lived everywhere. What makes Arvada such a special place to live, work, and play?
You know what's really cool is, I mean, with it being in the Denver metro area, it's awesome, right? And you get to go to a lot of places, and it's not just Arvada. I mean, Arvada is where I call home, but there's a lot of really great places in other areas too. But Arvada for me is really neat. And here's what I always tell people. It's the biggest small town in the world, right? This is a suburb that has all kinds of people, but everybody here knows somebody, and everybody who left seems to come back. I coach high school football, and it's impressive to me at how many people left that high school, have gone to college, did their own lives, and ended up back in Arvada and are coaching football and know everybody from everybody. So for me, Arvada is a really special place. I didn't grow up in Arvada. I grew up in Golden, which is just a neighboring, suburb. But I will tell you, ever since I've gotten here, I have loved everything about Arvada, from the old town that we have to the infrastructure that's being put in. And like I said, just the general people, they're fantastic.
Yeah, it's awesome. It sounds great.
Yeah.
I've not spent a lot of time in the Denver metro. I have interviewed lots of agents from there. It sounds like an awesome part of the country. Obviously, it's a very popular place. Lots of people are moving there, but people talk about it in a really positive way. Man, one more question. I'm going to kind of put you on the hot seat with this one. You've got 4 years experience. You know what this business is. If you were to give one piece of advice to appear in this business, what would that one piece of advice be?
Man, it's just that one piece. That's a tough one.
Look,
there's a lot of really, a lot of them. Yeah. So I guess my piece of advice for a peer would be, don't give up, even in the face of adversity, right? You can always find a way to get through something, whether it's needing more clients or helping a client with a bad transaction or whatever. I think never giving up is truly the one piece of advice that I would give.
I often wonder, of the large percentage of people that get their license that ultimately don't find a career in this business, if they'd have just gone a little bit further, right? Would they have found something to help them realize they can do this too? But look, you did it, and you do it well.
Sure,
and,
thank you.
And I'm proud to know you in some way, and to have had a few conversations with you. And I'm super proud to be here, being a part of Content, recognizing you for not just your contribution. It's not about production, but your attitude, the way you approach things. Man, you're just a likable guy, Jason, and you deserve this content. So congratulations.
I appreciate it.
On the recognition, and man, I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope it continues, and I appreciate you taking the time with me, and the faces of supporting what I'm doing. So I appreciate that a lot.
You're welcome. It's good to see you. Take care.
Thanks, Brian.